Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how I cover up my grays, how I dye them. I don't do it very often and I don't have a ton of gray, but when I have my hair pulled back, I can especially see them. And so this is just an easy way to get the grays that are sticking out, to cover those. Also this line right here, in case you noticed that. I had a hat on earlier, so it looks like I had it on a little too tight. So that's what that is. But anyway, all I'm doing is just covering up. Let's get up close and personal here. All these grays. I don't have a ton of them, but yeah, especially when I have my hair pulled back, you can see them. So back in the day, after having all three of my kids, like when I had the newborn of the third child, I had 3 grays. I was like, okay, so that's from one of each of you. I got 1 gray from each child. But now that I see, my youngest is 6. So yeah, the grays are coming out. Haven't hit 40 yet though. So anyway, I've just got some that I need to cover up. And so I'm just going to show you how I do that. I don't know if you can see any of these parts up here, but I definitely don't saturate my hair with, you can see I have a couple like these that love to just stick up. Those are just great. So, okay, I'm gonna show you how I do this. So I added some lotion here around my forehead just to keep dye from getting on my forehead. And so I've done that. All right, you are gonna need a mixing bowl, and I use 20 Developer. This is from Sally's and the brand is Ion and it's called Sensitive Scalp. So here's what it looks like. And you're gonna mix 1 part Developer with 1 part your color. So I'm gonna add, I don't really use a lot because I don't saturate my hair. I'm not like doing all my ends. And then I use 2 different colors just because I tried one and I was like, it just doesn't match that well. And so I feel like mixing these 2 together is what matches my roots the best. And it is light brown and medium brown. So I'm gonna use the same amount in each of these. Medium brown. Make sure you can see this. And I'd rather have too much than not enough. So there's how much I've put in there on that. And then I'm gonna do the same thing on this one. Put off there. So it's about that much. And also one of these kind of looks dark already, so I'm gonna take that out. So there's what it looks like. You can see that. Ah! Don't do that. I lost a little bit of Developer there. Let me wipe that up. This is the artist coming out in me. Like, I just kind of get messy sometimes. So, but it landed on my countertop and I don't want to ruin it. So I got that cleaned up. Okay, and then the other thing is you're going to want to wear gloves, which typically I have clear plastic gloves that I use, but I ran out of those, and so I'm gonna use just those yellow plastic like kitchen gloves. So right now what I'm doing is just mixing it up. You don't want to have any lumps. You want to make sure it's all mixed up real well. This is just a brush I got from Sally's as well. You can find everything there. You can also just buy a kit from Walmart, Amazon. I know there's lots of different good brands out there. This is just the one that I use. Okay, so I've got it all mixed up here. As you can see it, there shouldn't be any lumps or anything like that. You want to make sure it's all mixed up, smoothed out. That took me a couple minutes. So, all right, you also want to make sure you have a cape on or an old t-shirt or an old towel or something to go around you. And then gotta use these. I can get them on. Going with the yellow gloves today. These will probably end up in the trash. Just because, all right, I'm gonna start with the area that I notice the gray the most, which is here. So all you're gonna do, and sometimes what's best is to pull your hair up if you want, but since I really try to work around all my parts, so I'm just gonna brush it on here. And I've got some here. I'm trying to avoid my hair, or avoid my face, because I don't want gray on my, I don't want hair dye. And you're gonna wanna kind of be generous a little, you're gonna wanna put it on kind of thick, just to get it covered. All right, so I've got that area. Just kind of rub it in there. Make sure I get it good and mixed in. I'm gonna go up to this next area, which I feel like there's not a lot of gray. Now, if you have like a lot of gray that's growing in, you're gonna wanna use more and like really get your roots covered. But if you have sporadic ones like I do, then just brush it on where you see it. And then this will typically last, everyone's different, but for me it lasts about 3 to 4 weeks before I need to do it again. Because it actually, with gray hair, it doesn't permanently dye your hair. So over time it'll just wear off. So then you have to do it again. But yeah, so about every 4 weeks, you're gonna wanna do this dye. And then what I do, see how I have blondes? I get blonde highlights, which I'll probably do myself next time. But anyway, I add blonde highlights. That way, when the gray grows out, you don't notice it as well. It's not like totally, growing in on dark hair. Okay, see that there? Use more. And then I'm gonna part my hair and look for anywhere. So what I'm gonna do is just keep going around the crown of my head. I'm gonna part it down the middle, brush it on, and then let it sit for 40 minutes. And then you're gonna wash it out and use a really good deep conditioner after you've washed it. Leave that deep conditioner on for a good amount of time just to replenish, give more moisture to your hair, help repair it, and then just style as normal. So once I'm done with this, I will show you what it looks like. Okay, I also wanted to mention that you can tell, that'll wash off though. Okay, I also want to mention that I pull my hair up halfway to get underneath. I know I've got like a patch back here of gray hair that I want to get. So that's another option too. It's like, especially when you keep your hair pulled up, you want to try to get the grays if you have any back there. So I do that as well. All right, I have washed, dried, and styled my hair. I'm going to show you, well, here's what it looks like far away. And then I'm going to show you close up where I had the grays and how they're going. So if you are, if you look real closely, there's some back here that I missed. Yep. Not to point out my flaws, but if I were to literally soak this area with the product, with the hair color, then that would be gone. And if I would lift under pieces and brush, but for me and just what I prefer, I just kind of get around this area underneath and a little bit on top as well. So it was pretty simple, pretty quick. After, like I said, after you wash, you're just going to use a real deep conditioner. I did a deep condition for, I had it in for probably 10 minutes, washed it out and styled. So I'll let you see the rest of it. Woo! There it is. it all turned out. Pretty happy with it. So let me know if you have any questions in the comments below, and I will get back to you. Thanks and have a good day.